Sorry, having some technical hiccups here, because that's just how I decide to do things. I don't know what that is, so that's fine. Alright, we are here for take 2 of 3dCube versus Villabriga. Pardon me. What do we got? We have Villabriga's playing Scorpion, Keeper of Earth. We see the Earth Becomes Sky display a Power Splash from way back in the day. We see some extra utility cards. I've already gone through both these decks 2 days ago, I think. Maybe yesterday. So I don't have a whole lot of new stuff to say about them. 3dCube's playing a Dishonor crab deck, Splashing Scorpion for Miyako, Calling in Favors, and Backhanded Compliments, and 2 Messengers of Misery, which work with the For Shames. So we're seeing a slightly heavier courtier build. And over here, it's a variety of Scorpion tricks kind of thrown together. We've got Hige's Sermon to Bow Things, works with Earth Becomes Sky. Mono no Wari, I guess, is to help against towers. Yeah, we just have a smorgasbord of Scorpion goodness. I need to step away for a second, so I will blank. Yeah. I'll blank my video, and I will be back in just a minute. My apologies. Okay, apologies for that. Even though on vacation, sometimes work crops up. I'm going to be joined here in just a second by Tomoya. As soon as I can figure out a video call. So let me change Vijikoku set. Oh, huh, okay. I guess I have things set up just a little differently. That's interesting. Hey, can you hear me? Yeah, awesome. I can hear you. And now let me see if I can do things. Oh, that's the wrong screen to grab. This is utmost professional quality stuff going on here. How are you doing? Oh, now things are going sideways. There we go. Okay. Yep, they are going to get started. Oh, can you say something to?
Sorry.
Okay,
And
and
we have a bit stream.
yes, I also had you accidentally muted as well. We will live with it like that for right now. Okay, and yes, Oscar, this is the beard stream. Okay, so everything's set. Everything's set. Cool. So, like I said earlier, 3dCube's doing a Dishonor crab deck. And I'm not 100% sure what to classify Villabriga's deck as.
I think it's a mix between Dishonor, KB, and just tempo. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, and I'm not super keen on that idea. It seems like it might be trying to do a little too much. And hopefully it doesn't suffer too much because of it. Interesting flips. Villabriga is going to get the favor. And I think the Silent Skirmisher might get shot.
The question is, do you fade the smaller character here as crab?
I don't think so, because it. I don't think so, because right now Villabriga has to decide. Oh no, I guess he can buy a fawning diplomat, um, but now he's also going to give up passing fate to shoot someone. So maybe you don't do that at all, and just let the threat linger. Maybe. Oh, 3dCube passes. All right. No broker, just a skirmisher. And the skirmisher gets shot. What conflict characters is 3dCube on? He's got plenty, so we could still see a bunch of stuff jump out of his hand. There's the standard 6 to 5 bid with the manipulator. I think I favor 3dCube in this just because KB is going to play into being dishonored pretty easily. And I don't know that the Beautiful Entertainers are going to do enough to keep him afloat.
We'll see. I'm not sure how much alternate cards Villabriga has to stop the flow of Dishonor coming in, but
Hang on, I just realized that you didn't have the password to the game, and I just saw your message. So you have very little to. I guess you can watch the stream as well.
the stream, yeah.
Well, hopefully this will get you since there's just that slight delay, the stream is always behind. So we see the Caillou Envoy hit Weight of Duty. That gets defended by the Manipulator, and a Way of the Scorpion comes down. I don't actually like defending with the Manipulator here. I would have rather have seen the Fawning Diplomat defend. Because you're not going to sacrifice a Manipulator with Fate on it in case you need to.
No, most likely not, but the political attack is probably rather good in terms of.
It would have been, except for the Flooded Wastes.
Yeah, I was about to say in terms of answers, but yeah, running into Flooded Waste cancels that attack unless he has some way of dishonoring the diplomat.
I actually don't think that deck has a whole lot in the way of self-dishonor outside of stuff like. Okay, I just sent you both deck lists. I mean, he didn't have anything, so. Yeah, no, it's got Spies at Court. It has no proactive dishonor.
Yeah, I think definitely having a court mask here could have been beneficial.
Yeah, Court Mask, whatever things. Calling in favors doesn't do anything because there's nothing on the board. So, I mean, yeah, that doesn't feel great. This attack is weird. I expect we're going to see a. There we go. There's the Messenger of Misery, which is another free character for Crab, because that's clearly what they needed more of.
And fun fact, even if it had glory, it couldn't be dishonored by way of the scorpion.
Yeah, so. Okay, so we see Vitessin come down. Didn't want to lose that. Loses a Sadako. That stings quite a bit. So I guess here you go fire, you dishonor the messenger, and you clearly go back to Flooded Wastes.
It's certainly weird that Villabriga went for water with the diplomat, considering he had Tessin as backup.
In hand. Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't. The water ring is a renewable resource, and the Tessin isn't. Because then he could have defended with the manipulator and then stood it back up with the Tessin and gotten double use out of it. We do see 3dCube just straight murder the manipulator.
Yeah, we definitely see the result of the RL not having
Yes. Like, man. Scorpion kept a lot of shit in check for good and for bad. So I fully expect there to be a whole bunch of assassinations running around now, and low cost characters can't really afford to get faded. We see a much better flip for Villabriga this go round, though. And there is a broker and an envoy for 3dCube, so he's doing okay.
Yeah, seeing how he got through that round with 8 fates and being up on odds and honor, that's definitely not a position the Scorpion wants to see his opponent in.
No, and I'm wondering. I assume Villabriga has some assassinations. He's got 2. Okay. Yep, I've got his deck list open twice. Why is that a thing? Okay, there we go. So 3dCube finds a deal broker, which gets a quartermaster. That deal broker is real good for Miyako. And the fact that there's a broker sitting there means that 3dCube's probably going to end up at like 15 fate again at the end of the turn. She is Shadow Stalker. I expect Villabriga. Wow, why am I not scrolling down? Okay, yep. Villabriga passes. Broker with 2. Envoy is going to come out because there's no reason not to. So Villabriga needs to lose 1 point of honor in a hurry. And both players bid 2. That's kind of spicy. I don't like that low bid from Villabriga.
Yeah, considering you have the entertainer and you're down on cards,
Yeah.
you must really be respecting him having backhanded complement and possibly the power he's representing to win an airing and a firing.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, like, even a 3 bid feels like it. Like, a 2 bid is in anticipation of a 1 bid. And I would not have expected a 1 bid out of 3dCube. I mean, I certainly
definitely.
I wouldn't have expected a 2 bid either, but like I still would have expected a higher bid from 3dCube. So we're gonna see. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say he does have the broker with 2 real good sacrifice targets backed up by a funeral pyre, on top of probably having another messenger in his hand.
Sorry, I'm having some issues with your camera. It freezes unless it's. Okay, there we go. Now it's good. Okay, so we see a void conflict back at Flooded Wastes. Deal broker defends and gets dishonored. There's court games to dishonor. So, as a timing question, on Beautiful Entertainer, if she's dishonored or honored, the token takes effect before she can trigger, right?
This has been changed so much that I'm not quite sure. I'd really have to dive into the code here, but from what I remembered, the effect of the token possibly comes after the interrupt.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Because I think it works now that the dishonor loss happens when the token physically leaves play, which is definitely after the interrupt.
Okay. And I guess since an interrupt, it happens before it leaves play. Huh.
Yes.
Okay. So we see the Gallant Quartermaster throwing a fire conflict back at Weight of Duty. I I think that Villabriga should have attacked with the Alibi Artist, because then you can sacrifice the Beautiful Entertainer at Weight of Duty. Like, the fact that he keeps defending with fated characters means Weight of Duty is really blank. Or at least its ability has an extra cost that shouldn't be there.
Right.
So 3dCube is just laying down court games here.
Yeah, I was wondering, looking at Villabriga's list at the moment, the only thing that is activating his Kyuden Bayushi are those dishonoring court games from 3dCube.
So I think he's relying on winning a political conflict for Spies at Court and the acclaimed Geisha House. Unfortunately, he has not managed to win a political conflict with a not dishonored character yet. So those are really dead cards. And this court games, even if 3dCube doesn't win the conflict, is still going to shut off the Spies at Court.
Yeah, definitely. And those Hige summons in Villabriga's deck definitely aren't good in this wide matchup that Crab is going to be able to
Yeah,
put out.
Hige's Sermon Villabriga gets to pick 3dCube's character, and 3dCube gets to pick. So he can still hit the high value targets. He has 3 calling in favors, Oscar, but we haven't seen any attachments come down yet. And actually, let's take a quick look at. Yeah, I don't expect 3dCube to play the Watch Commander. That's usually a bad idea against Scorpion because it'll just get stolen.
Yeah, technically you could steal it back, but with Forgery up at the moment, that wouldn't be the greatest of plays, in my opinion.
Yep, we see another water conflict here. Why water? A gallant quartermaster throws himself on a funeral pyre. That makes sense. I guess water bows the envoy, but who cares? We see a kick on the bonsai, which turns on all the cards. Okay. So now we'll see Villabriga fish with the alibi artist. There's the Miyako over the deal broker.
There would be an argument to ready the alibi artist, but the problem is the only conflict left is the military conflict. So
yeah,
even now that alibi artist is active,
now that the Stalker's dishonored, it can stand to defend against the envoy Miyako, and then you can still ready the alibi artist for favor. But I still don't like this water ring. Like, Earth is so much more valuable here. I guess, so he is running Display of Power, right? So maybe he wants to take the bad ring off the table.
That could be an argument. His hand might be bricked with at least 2 displays, and he's just trying to get value out of those cards in his hand.
Yeah. Although if he's standing shadows, I don't think he has the display. Oh, he readies the Entertainer. Okay, so now 3dCube can't go back to waiting duty. And he did remember to fire the alibi artist, so that's all good. Yes, what are you doing, Villabriga? Now, the only thing I can think of is he's taking a bad ring off the table. And going air here. Okay, so no display of power. Man, this just feels so weird.
Yeah, and you can't really do here because even if you put off on the envoy, there's probably a Stoic Gunter waiting for you just for that moment.
Yeah, is he so? Yeah, he got 30 of them. So that's almost for sure going to happen. Like, if you're going to do that, speak of a devil. I think at this point, you for sure sacrifice the Entertainer to bow out the Gunso. Unless it's big brain 2 Gunsos in hand.
My lack of Spanish coming up here, but Villabriga says he's thinking.
Yeah, no. Like, I can piece out the occasional word. Okay, so gets back to the Entertainer.
Right, now I understand. Villabriga was confused why 3dCube got a reaction to him doing the duty, probably.
Well, so here's where Villabriga fucked up. He shouldn't have gained 2 off the Entertainer. Because that brought him above honor, above 6 honor, which turned off the Shadow Stalker, so he lost conflict.
Right. But yeah, here you can see the answer to your question.
Yes.
Beautiful entertainers interrupt Briga's first.
Which I guess is important if she's honored, right? Or you can't use the dishonor token to turn on her ability. Alright, so we see 2 Earth Becomes Skies. I think his hand was pretty bricked. And he's just trying to take advantage of what he can right now.
Yeah, definitely. Becomes Sky being more of a tempo card, it might do its job here and bring Villabriga a bit back into the game, but
yeah, well, I mean, so he didn't get any other economy cards in his row, so he also by bowing out the broker, he's denied 3dCube, 2 fate, and 2 cards, possibly more. Receive a Governor Spy, which I don't think is going to do a whole lot. Geisha House might be too late, and 2 Fawning Diplomats.
Well, you say that, but there are 2 Funeral Pyres in the row. You're at least shutting down some of the crab card row.
Sort of. The problem is, Governor Spy, he's only running 1 Stoke Insurrection, so those Funeral Pyres are not great either.
No, but the argument is you are shutting down some of the crab row. Of course, Kudenhida being the premier stronghold to get around the Spy lock, as to say.
I think him flipping or getting 2 Vanguard Warriors is offsetting the tempo loss a little bit, because he can just refake the broker and the console, and 3dCube's not in any danger of losing this turn.
No, definitely, but you're trying to make the other turns worse. But I mean, like I said, definitely against Kudenhida, not the most effective.
Spylock is not as terrifying against Kudenhida. So, are we going to see a Hige Sermon here? I think Villabriga is looking for a Hige Sermon. So, I wonder if you could make a case for... Well, no, I guess it matters that Villabriga got Passing Fate. It's not so much about denying it, because it can generate so much money. It's just that conflict deck is kind of expensive.
Yeah, also, I'm not sure if you have the Hige Sermon if that you want to trigger it. You're just going to get the Governor Spy bowed out, and
yeah, that's fair.
I don't currently see a way for him to ready that Governor Spy when it's being bowed.
Well, there's another water conflict that still does not feel good to me. Because I guess he wants to ready for broker, so that makes sense. I think here you defend with the broker and the Governor Spy. And he is... See, that's one thing I hate about the Shadow Stalker so much. It's not 1 glory. And that bothers me, because it makes him tiny.
Yeah, definitely for the sort of deck it wants to be in. Just being 3-1 when Dishonored is definitely not a great card.
No, Kyuden Bayushi was clearly the Shinobi stronghold. But they keep giving Shinobi Gori, which sucks, because to use Kyuden Bayushi you have to dishonor them.
Yeah, and it's definitely weird considering you have a shadow. It's a shadow you're talking about, and it has 1 glory.
I mean, then again, this is the world we live in with the Unchained experiment or Unleashed experiment having 3 political. So this crab human monster is as good in the courts as a Bayushi liar or a Kodo Toturi.
Sure, but you know how to do it. Like, I think the most baffling political skill from a narrative perspective is still to go the base for. But yeah.
Yes, because I think her politics extends to just yelling, and if she yells louder, she wins the argument.
Yeah, that's definitely how it works.
Okay,
Okay, so here
we find
we
Villabriga
see
going for a good Earth Ring. Finds Shameful, which is not great, and the broker stood from the last conflict, so those Vanguard warriors are now super value. And at the end of this turn, it looks like Villabriga is going to be uh, within backhanded range.
yeah, he might have like one forgery to cancel one of them, but it's not really going to matter.
Now, uh,
The special thing about Villabriga's deck is that it's not running for shame, so in conflict where it's on the offensive and destroying people, it's still like a bit of a punch to win
yeah.
those conflicts.
Okay, so student eats the Gunso, or eats Miyako, sorry, to basically just draw more cards. That's all that's happening here. Um, Shameful gets triggered. That's not going to matter. I don't. Oh, we see injury come down. I don't know what the hope is for that. What is the hope for that? Oops. I don't know what the hope is for that.
I don't immediately see it.
Oh. Man, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. I think he's going to dishonor the messenger to switch the ring. There's another Miyako overlay, which is going to dishonor the messenger. Uh, so I think we're done. I think. Sneaky. It's a void province. So you can use weight of duty offensively.
Right, correct.
So maybe he can still win this conflict at least.
Yeah, now we get attachment coming down. So now the question is, it probably means 3dCube just has his own calling in favors and is comfortable doing the calling in favors war.
I would not be comfortable doing that just because Villabriga has forgeries. That being said, all of 3D characters have a bunch of 8 on them, and he's sitting at 9 honor, so he's not going to die anytime soon. There's another Gunso with a bunch of fate.
Yeah, it's real testament to how much money this crab makes.
Yeah.
Like the broker shell definitely feels more consistent than the Shinsei Lasso Logistics Hero shell.
It
So that
does. I think I don't play a lot of crabs, so I'm strictly talking out of my ass here. But I can see Shinsei's Last Hope being a good addition to this deck as well. Just for that extra economy. Okay, so he stands the Alibi Artist. There's the Air Conflict at Weight of Duty. And we see a decent fence. Do we see an assassination happen here? No, we see an Ornate Fan instead. Man, my connection is super slow right now. Things are dragging for me. There's a duck run down. So now I expect we'll see a calling in favors. I think Sadako's going to steal that Watch Commander. And that's what we see happen. Is that going to be enough to turn the game around? Oh, there's a Defender Honor.
Yeah. So I assume we see.
It's a 3/4 though, so Villabriga what bid 2? Oh, both players bid 1.
Yeah.
I think
That was
3dCube.
related to your honor.
The only thing I can think of is 3 trying to bait Honor out of Villabriga.
Sure, but doing that from a losing position is really greedy.
Okay, so that might swing the game a little bit.
I think we might just see the backhanded compliments come out here.
I mean, there's that too, right? Villabriga is still going to be at 2 Honor here, and Censors are off, but 3-Cube is not on center, so that might be okay. We don't see the censures, the forgeries happen just yet. Okay, that's decent, I think, for Villabriga. That's also plenty fine for 3dCube. That's just more economy. Which means Sadako's getting blinked. If I was Villabriga, I would absolutely buy Ibuki over Diplomat right now. Because I think you need all the cancels you have available to you to not die to the backhand compliments.
We just saw forgery use cancel sequence. That is scary considering the position he's in.
Yes. But I think it almost feels like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because otherwise Sadako is going to be just a potato. And he needs Sadako to push through this air ring.
Yeah, winning it would be preferable. I'm not sure if he can win it, but technically only needed to not be a 0-0, right?
Yeah. Okay, so there's political air. For the love of God, don't go back shameful.
Yeah, courteous greeting is probably the.
That's better. So keeper won't get got, which is important. But there's still a student that is still going to blank it up. I forgot he had 2 of them.
Yeah, and Villabriga can just not play cards right now. So.
No. And 3dCube steals the Watch Commander back. So done here. Well, I guess 3dCube has to. I guess bow Miyako to bow Governor Spy.
No, it's just over the Watch Commanders prevent any sort of run to the backhanded compliments, else he just loses.
Yep,
the 2 honor anyway.
There's that too. If 3dCube has 1, and there it is. Nope. It's got to be the second one now. Yep. All right. Scorpion feels real bad without Forged Edict.
I think it's this build that Villabriga is probably really needs to be able to live off the tempo crits by bowing
Yeah,
people and killing chances, and this matchup just felt really bad for, especially because of the control assassination now brings against Scorpion.
yeah. I also think I don't think this is a particularly good build for Scorpion. Uh, it looks like it was trying to do a little bit too much. I think. Uh, like I think if you're gonna run 3 Governor Spy, you should probably run 3 Stoke Insurrections.
well, that's definitely not. Um, I know that's true, but for certain, this deck basically only has bow effects as a way to close the power gap.
That's not enough.
Um, on top of the calling in phases, but against the deck which can ready itself, it feels like it comes up way too short.
Yeah, I think the foundation of this deck is definitely a foundation that doesn't work anymore. I don't think, at least for Scorpion, that display of power in EBS is slash anymore.
Considering the matchups, if you find a Lion player who's not on Fan of Command and against Fan of Command might be calling in favors, I might see some possibilities there.
Maybe. But like, if you are relying on display of power to do any kind of work, you are basically conceding at least one province to Lion, which is a losing position. So maybe the EBS is okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
This power is dead too. I mean, it's a value slash tempo card, right? You're trying to get your centers online and you are trying to not commit anybody to a conflict. Hopefully, you can control out uh, without having to spend any bodies with a role like Weight of Duty, Midnight Travels, because you know, cash. I'm not sure if there's really any problems where you just don't want to commit to it like that. Maybe if someone gets greedy and after you sacrifice someone at Weight of Duty plays a conflict character and doesn't break the province. Um, it doesn't feel too solid though.
No, it doesn't. So there is another game after this that they're getting ready to set up. If you want to co-cast on